Next question is from Defer Long. It says, regarding your love of the apex predator, aka the Roth, do you think it makes sense to max that out instead of a 529? We would be over 59 and a half by the time the kids go to college. Thanks. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I'm going to let you put in remember, the key thing we always talk about when you're looking at the financial order of operations, you can go get your own copy at moneyguy.com/resources. I'll give you the shake of it, is that, you know, paying for the kids' college is more of a step 8 of the financial order of operations. And it always goes back to the respect of, you put on your own, when you get on the airplane, they always say, put on your own oxygen mask before you put it on the kids. And you know, and then you can put it on them. Mm-hmm. Well, it's kind of the same way with your retirement. I mean, you want to make sure that you've funded your retirement assets and your financial foundation, because the kids can go get student loans. Mm-hmm. You can't. It's not like you can get a grant for retirement. Nope. You know, it's not like they're going. You know, the student loans. You know, your kids can do that. You can't go get a retirement loan. I mean, that's a horrible situation to put yourself in. So. I'm going to tell you, I like Roth before 529.
Yeah, 100% agree. I mean, this is unequivocally a financial order of operations question. Deciding on how to save for college cannot exist in the place of, should I do Roth or should I do 529? If you're in step 5 and you're thinking about doing 529, you've already gotten it out of order, right? You've already gotten it. You ought to be doing Roth, because the thing that you have to do is you have to make sure that you're saving for your financial independence first. And what's the worst outcome if you do that? The markets perform well and your savings rate does awesome. And even though you didn't save any money for college, you get to financial independence, you get to your kids' college age, and you figure out, you know what, we have enough money that we can actually retire and we can be financially independent. And oh, by the way, we can use the resource that we saved up to pay for college, and it's not going to derail our financial life. Once you get to the finish line, the pot of money is big enough, you can make that assessment. At this stage, early on, while you're beginning to defer, it can't be that can't be the two that you're trying to decide between, because you have to land on step 5 first. You have to think through, okay, I got to save for the Roth because that's what's best for our financial situation. And then as I continue to work through the steps of the FOO, then I can get to step 8.
What if they are on step 8, which they are?
Yeah, well
then they've already done the Roth. If they're on step 8, then they've already done. If you're on step 8, you've already maxed out your Roth. You've already done the HSA. You're likely maxing out your employer-sponsored retirement plan. You're saving 25% of your gross income. Once you're doing that, by all means, 529s are great. But I don't know if you could be on step 8 without having done the Roth.
Yeah, you need to go read the fine print of the FOO or get a refresher on it.
I'm thinking through this in real time. I'm missing something. No, because the only reason you would skip through the Roth is if you didn't have access to be able to do a Roth. Maybe income was too high or whatever. Yeah, I think you gotta do the Roth.
What if they're feeling like there's not income left to max out the Roth and make progress on the 529?
But how can you be on step 8 if you?
Then it's got to be a 25.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think.
You're trying to help them. I get that.
I'm trying to help.
I think that I don't want to say this absolutely, but generally speaking, given the option to be able to fund or be able to max out Roths, in most scenarios, that's going to be one of the most advantageous things you can do. It's why we put it so early in the financial order of operations. It's why we put it right after emergency reserves.
Well, you can play it. Let's play this down. The only way that you can get to step 8 without fully maxing out Roth options, like with your employer plan and so forth, is if your income is low enough
and you don't
that
have
you
access.
reach 25% before you reach the maximum amount. Well, then I would say our answer still holds up, because if your children get to college age and your income is low enough that you can get to saving 25% of your gross income without loading up the Roth, then you might be close enough from an income that your kids will qualify for needs-based scholarships as well.
Got it.
And then mega backdoor Roth, if that's because he did mention Apex, because that is a completely different thing.
Mega backdoor is a whole different
thing.
thing.
And look, as much as I love the Apex Predators of mega backdoor Roths, there are some circumstances that sometimes keep you from utilizing that. Like a lot of times, people who have the income to qualify for that are also like self-employed.
Yep.
And maybe it's more advantageous to build up after-tax assets even than the mega backdoor Roth. So that one we'd need if you're on the other side of this, meaning you have so much income coming in that you're now can consider doing things like mega backdoor Roth and other things, I'm going to say that's probably graduating to taking the relationship to the next level. So, because I can't triage your personal situation unless I know all the details, so we can fine tune and put the personal in the personal finance.
Yeah, the end is going to suggest what the path should be, what your goal is, right? Like, so if your goal is to pay for college, so we can talk about the best way. But even once you're into like mega backdoor Roth and you're getting into those types of planning scenarios, I still think you're probably somewhere close to that 25%. You're probably still in step 7, step 8, somewhere in that range. And then it becomes an order of priority based on your unique circumstances, your unique account structure, the unique age of you, the unique age of your kids, and how you actually want cash flows to play out through your 40s, 50s, 60s, all the way out to your 90s. It does become very specialized.
And I'm sitting here thinking, I know that we're dragging this out, but this is the cool part about being a financial planner is you get to really nerd out on stuff, is that when you have somebody who's in a good situation where they're in steps 7 and 8, kind of where with making this, you then also look into, is your 529 in your state offer a tax benefit? Because maybe it's a state income tax deduction as well as the funding, and then you have to look at, because step 7, the hyper accumulations, where you go think about how you're actually going to use this money in retirement, and and as part of that, you can be thinking about the cash flow from the kids' education. All those things kind of work together. That's why I love the whole mindset that goes through as you're working through the 9 steps of the financial order of operations.
Love it.